Jones, and I'm an owner of a Lil Snoozy camper. And one of the problems with the Lil Snoozy is they used a Bosch electric water heater that does not have a drain. And I think even the newer campers are built the same way. So in order to drain it, you've got to turn it over, take it out, turn it over, and drain it manually. It's quite aggravating. Or you can pump 6 or 7 gallons of antifreeze through the system. And what I've been doing is pumping antifreeze through the system. But now, what I want to do is come up with a situation or a solution to where I can just pump it out. So I think I've come up with that. We can kind of watch what's going on here. What we have is, it's hard to see with all the wires, but I have added a T to the top of the heater, and on top of the T I've added a valve. And when I get pressure off the system, I can open that valve and insert this 1/4-inch tubing down there, which is attached to this little pump. The little pump was about 20 bucks on Amazon. I have the small tubing going to a 1/2-inch tubing. Actually, the fittings on the pump are about 3/8. But I just had this 1/2-inch tubing, and it squeezed down with clamps. It seems to work good enough. And as you can see, I've got it going out through the hatch and going outside into that bucket. And it's already pumped about, looks like my hoses fell out of it now, but it had already pumped about 2 gallons into it there in about 6 or 7 minutes. So hopefully this will help Snoozy and Snoozy 2 owners to be able to do the same thing. And I've got a 12-volt junction block here that I'm using for my cabinet lights, and I just hooked the power supply to that. But you could put a cigarette lighter plug on this, or run your wires to the battery or whatever. It wouldn't, as long as you got power, it doesn't really matter. But that's what I've done. I've got a bed lift, which makes it a little easier, and hopefully this will now, in order for this to work properly, you have to bypass the heater. And what I did was used a washer kit from a home washing machine, and I bought the fittings off of Amazon to where I can take one hose loose and attach it to the other end. So I have a blue hose. You can see there's my cold water coming in, and this is the hot water, which I've looped around to the other, from the hot water to the cold. So I've got the heater bypassed. And then, of course, you can see my valve here. That's pumping pretty good. So far I've pumped out about 2 gallons, and it took about 10 minutes. So we'll hopefully get most of this water out. Will be winterized. After I loop the hoses around, I use a blowout fitting. Show you what that looks like. I use a blowout fitting in the city water. You can get those from Amazon too, to blow the rest of the water out. I just open up the kitchen valve, hot and cold, blow on each, open the shower hot and cold, and then of course don't forget to blow out the cassette toilet valve by holding down the valve and blowing air through. You might need some help with that, but that's about it. You can one thing not to forget is to pour a little antifreeze down the kitchen sink, so you can take care of any water that's in that trap.